Hello, hello again to another Agakala reaction. Today we will be watching the 9 best space shows that are in Star Trek. Obviously, I've seen some Star Trek, seen the recent movies. I've watched some of the shows as well throughout my lifetime, because Star Trek is older than me, so obviously I've come across of it, and I do like science fiction. But let's just not prolong and just see. And I wonder how many of those shows I actually seen. Actually, this is Nabu. No, it's not. But oh, it is. That's the Expanse.
Science fiction on television has been dominated by Star Trek for decades. In much the same way people think of Star Wars when they think of space movies, everyone thinks Star Trek when anyone mentions galactic-spanning sci-fi on TV. There have been so many Star Trek shows that when best space series lists are made, Trek tends to dominate them and push out other equally deserving but smaller entries.
You hit the wrong ship. It wasn't my fault.
But the Federation doesn't own all of known space. Most of the best space sci-fi shows have nothing to do with Star Trek at all, and you probably haven't heard of most of them. That's about to change.
Battlestar Galactica, we
This
start
is
watching
Giant
it.
Freaking Robot, and these are the best space shows that aren't Star Trek.
SGU,
Stargate
watched
Universe
it,
was
loved
the Stargate
it.
franchise's
Stargate
attempt to make the leap
Atlantis
into modern
and then
television
Universe as well.
storytelling with a linear series driving towards a definite destination
Oh, this is Universe,
and
yeah,
a
that was very
complex
good too.
mystery box.
I was so sad when they cancelled it. Like, really sad. I know it was a bit different than SG-1 and Atlantis. It wasn't as lighthearted and funny. There were still funny moments there, obviously, but I found it to be more of kind of going into the darker regions of science fiction in comparison to Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis, obviously. And they were quite lighthearted for most of the time. SGU wasn't as like that, but it was I think it was a very interesting premise of it. I really enjoyed it, and I was really sad when they actually cancelled it, you know.
Questions to be opened. It follows a group of human military men and scientists trapped aboard an ancient starship in a far-off galaxy with no way home. The cast is great, the ship is amazing, and the story's unique and interesting. The show was canceled after only 2 seasons, but by its 2nd season, it really starts coming together.
Yeah.
Ready weapons, fire only on my command.
It's hard not...
I do have to say, if it comes about Stargate Universe, I keep forgetting to turn on the ads when they're supposed to go. They kind of left it open. Like, they left the possibility of going back to it in the last episode. I remember that quite, well. And I was kind of hoping that maybe someone is gonna take over and actually do something about it. Like, that's what happened with Expanse. Expanse was cancelled by, was it Sci-Fi, I think they owned and started making it at first, and then Amazon Prime took over. And there was some other shows as well that basically were saved by different either streaming platform or different TV. So, is this the ad? There is another, okay, and it's long as well. So, Stargate Universe was quite interesting in the way how they kept it open for possibility of actually going back and redoing. Not redoing, but just continuing it later. Alright, so far we had one show, and this is rather long ad. Maybe it's not. Did I talk so long? And this is a long ad, so... Yep, okay, so I'll be seeing you in a second. Bye! Okay, I'm back, and let's just go back to the show as well. What show? A video about the shows. So far I did, we are supposed to be 9, and I watched one of them, so my chances of watching all of them are quite high.
It's hard not to wonder how high up this list Stargate Universe might have been if it had gotten the time it deserved.
Yeah.
Let me know when we get there.
Oh my god, Red Dwarf!
Making science fiction funny is a pretty difficult task, but you'd never know it from watching Red Dwarf.
Go to blue alert.
What for? There's no one too late. We're all here.
This iconic British series makes outer space hilarity seem easy. It's the story of Dave Lister, a low-level nothing aboard a massive mining ship called Red Dwarf. He gets shoved into stasis, and while he's sleeping, the entire crew gets killed. 3 million years later, Lister awakens to find himself alone in the universe. Alone except, of course, for a stylishly dressed man evolved from the ship's cat.
I hate to go all technical on you, but all hands on deck, swirly thing alert!
A smeghead hologram of one of his dead crewmates.
Mr. Rimmer, we are what we seem.
And an android with an ironing obsession.
Step up to red alert.
Sir, are you absolutely sure? It does mean changing the bulb.
Firefly, obviously I've seen it too.
Canceling Firefly is...
Although, I have to say I've seen Firefly after I watched Serenity. And a few years after I watched Serenity. I don't know how did that happen. But I'm guessing the fact that was a bit of a messy there with the constellation and stuff. I even read somewhere that basically Firefly was shown out of order on the actual network TV. So I'm not... I shouldn't be that surprised that I haven't seen it. But I've seen... Serenity multiple. It's one of my feel-good movies for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but I do like it.
Considered one of the biggest mistakes in the history of television. Had the Joss Whedon created series gotten the run it deserved, Firefly would have become the next big Star Trek-sized franchise. The small handful of episodes the show was given are so good that it still manages to make it onto this list. Firefly follows a ragtag group of smugglers aboard a Firefly-class cargo ship called Serenity, trying to make their way in a Wild West-styled universe.
I swear by my pretty floor bonnet, I will end you.
It takes a lot of cues from another great show called Farscape, which you
yeah,
may
it's
hear
true.
more about
Yeah, I watched it
on
too.
this list. It's carried by the dynamic crew and the unstoppable charisma of Nathan Fillion as the ship's Han Solo-like captain.
I aim to misbehave.
Watch every episode of it, and you too will aim to misbehave.
It's an anime here, huh?
Fire now.
I know that voice, by the way.
Legend of the Galactic Heroes began as a 10-novel series by
That's not
Japanese
something I've
author
seen.
Yoshiki Tanaka, and went on to become one of the most influential and longest-running space
Sorry
operas.
guys, I just gonna check it because I'm like, what is this called? The Legend of Galactic Heroes, huh? I wonder if Crunchyroll have it. Because honestly, that is something that I strive to watch. If that's on the list like this, I definitely would like to actually see it too. Legend. I'm gonna save it for watching later. Maybe Eric will watch it with me. And I'm apologizing for using my phone, but I'm mostly using Crunchyroll on my phone. Legend of the Galactic Heroes, 4 seasons, 48 episodes. Okay, let's save to watch later. There you go, saved. There you go, let's see. They're probably gonna give me some
in Japanese history. It's been adapted
Never
into
heard
animation
about it, though.
several times, but the best version is the most recent version. It's fully titled as Legend of the Galactic Heroes de Neue These.
God bless you.
It tells the story of competing galactic empires through the lens of 2 strategic geniuses, one in each nation, as they each rise through the military ranks, buoyed by their achievements. Legend of the Galactic Heroes is a complex mix of eye-popping, large-scale space battles, political maneuvering,
that does look good.
and personal relationships told over a series of decades. It's one of the biggest stories ever told, so big it's hard to imagine it being told in any form other than anime. The anime series is still in production, with 3 seasons completed and a 4th one expected soon.
This is from 4th February. Farscape, isn't it? Haven't watched Farscape in a long time. Orville.
Maybe the
I'm
Orville
so
shouldn't
sorry.
be here since this isn't
Such a
a Star
mistake.
Trek list. It's the most Star Trek show to hit television since the cancellation of Enterprise.
I'm really
And
embarrassed
that's a
now.
vibe series creator Seth
How could I
MacFarlane
think it was
fostered
Farscape?
on purpose.
What is that?
That is,
Like, I started watching Orville, and I actually even made a reaction to about how the world works in Orville, in regard to like a socio-economical stuff. I'm gonna put the card somewhere here. So, but the shape was kind of similar.
Is it someone you know?
no, he's just a leader I admire.
It's not Star Trek though, so here it sits.
Feels like too many zippers.
Oh, no. Always go with one more zipper than you're comfortable with.
Oh.
It's about a crew of explorers wandering their way
did
through
start
the
watching
cosmos,
it, but never
encountering
finished
the
it.
wonders of the universe
I'm not
and
totally sure why.
challenging the human spirit. You know, exactly what Star Trek was back when they had the bald guy in charge of the ship. Back when it was still good. And it wasn't this. The Orville will scratch the Star Trek itch that hasn't been satisfied by Paramount's current Trek offerings. And sometimes, especially in Season 1, it's also really funny.
Lieutenant Malloy taught me this song. I will now sing it. You will be silent!
Yeah, I definitely haven't finished this because I
Once upon a
haven't.
time.
There's Farscape.
There was a boy named John.
I haven't watched Farscape in a
You know
long
what-
time. Although I did start recently on Prime, and then I kind of like, you know, because I already seen it, so I didn't really continue it. I started watching something else, or it was just something in regards of doing something else while I'm watching it while I'm doing something else. This is what I'm trying to do. This is how I'm watching most of this stuff now. So, Farscape I've seen, I would say it's older than, I've seen it later as well. I haven't watched it when it actually came out. So that's one of the reasons for I don't know what. But I watched it already when I was in Ireland. So that's that. So that was being past 2006. And we're back? No, we're not. There's another ad. Okay. So it's very enjoyable as well. It's funny. It's kind of interesting take on science fiction, I think. What else can I say? Nothing really. So I'll be back in a moment. Thanks. Okay, we're back, and let's jump into it, because obviously since I stopped talking, I haven't really come up with anything else to add.
Farscape does not ease viewers into the show's aesthetic.
No, it doesn't.
It's weird from the first episode, and it only gets weirder. But it's also one of the best things in the history of television.
I'm just gonna say that because I remember now that seeing Claudia Black, and now I remember him, the actor, as Mitchell from Stargate SG-1, because that's where I actually seen them first. So I watched the Stargate SG-1, and then I watched Farscape. So, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Television. If you stick with it, you'll fall in love. Farscape was Guardians of the Galaxy before the Guardians of the Galaxy movies existed, and James Gunn has admitted the series was an inspiration for his Marvel films. That's why Farscape star Ben Browder shows up in them. It's about a ship, a living ship, full of escaped prisoners on the run, and the one human who falls through a wormhole and ends up lost in space with them. It's heartbreaking and funny and romantic and terrifying and every other emotion you can imagine. It's also unique, absolutely unique. Nothing on this list or any other is quite like Farscape.
There's expansion number 3? Can't believe it!
The Expanse is the closest we've gotten to
keep
seeing
saying
real
I have to
hard
go
sci-fi
back and watch it
realized
again, but
in
we don't
live
have Prime
action
at this
on
stage.
screen. It's based on a series of books, which are worth
Yeah.
reading, and set in a near future where humans have colonized Mars and other parts of the solar system. On the surface, it's about the big questions that surface when the unknown collides with human politics. It's been called Game of Thrones in space by some, and in certain ways that is accurate. But the heart of the show is...
I agree with that. I agreed with that a lot, because the Game of Thrones, it's very complex as well. But it's a fantasy, and this is like a science fiction answer to it. There's no like dragons, but there's kind of sort of aliens there in the end.
A small crew who become friends and battle their way through disaster season after season, with no one to rely on but each other aboard their small ship. The Expanse covers a lot of ground, but always brings it back to the Rocinante. It's her crew that elevates the show to another level.
The future is all around us, waiting in moments of transition to be born.
I do not recognize this at all.
Of revelation.
Babylon 5. Okay, haven't seen it.
You can
Heard
thank
about
Babylon 5 for much of the best kinds of modern storytelling.
So Battlestar Galactica
the show was
gonna be
a
number
trailblazer,
one. Okay.
one of the first ever series to come complete with a 5-season linear story arc, and the first television series to use CGI on a large scale. The storylines are epic and huge. The characters are carefully developed, and each has a complete and satisfying arc. The series is set primarily aboard a single space station, the last of the Babylon stations. It widens out its scope as the crew becomes embroiled in brutal galactic wars and tangled up chillingly familiar Earth politics. No one on Babylon 5 is exactly what they seem, and discovering who they really are is what makes this one of the best space-set sci-fi shows of all time.
Who are you? What do you want? Who are you? What do you want? Who are you? Who are you?
The 2004 Battlestar Galactica is a remake of a classic.
I still don't remember why we never finished Battlestar Galactica. Me and Eric, we definitely start watching it, but I just can't come up with the actual reason why we stopped. Was it just... I don't know, because we watched it like only a few years ago. We started watching it only a few years ago. So I remember watching it as well years ago on my own. So maybe that was the fact that if I'm watching something again, there's a very little exceptions that I can watch over and over stuff. There's only few things that I can watch over and over and not being bored. But with Battlestar Galactica, that might have been one of the reasons that I've seen it before and Eric had games to play. So that could be the reason. I can't remember now. Well, according to
70s
channel,
science fiction series.
Best one,
but
huh?
it's reboot creator Ronald D. Moore who made this version what it is. And what it is the best science fiction series ever produced.
So say we all. 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 So say we all.
Or at least the best one that isn't Star Trek. Oddly enough, Ron Moore also helped make Star Trek's best series, Deep Space Nine, serving as the show's co-executive producer. Basically, Ron Moore was always going to be at the top of this list one way or another. Battlestar Galactica works on every level. As an adventure series, it has the best special effects found in anything.
Fire.
It excels both big and small scale, doing it all better than most movies, despite operating on a fraction of the budget. As a piece of storytelling, it contains a deep and complex narrative, with compelling characters and a tightly constructed plot. It also works on a philosophical level, examining the nature of belief and the limits of the human spirit. Now 20 years old, Battlestar Galactica has grown richer and more poignant with time. While at first the show's unusual choice for an ending left fans conflicted, rewatching it now feels perfect.
Hey,
as if
spoilers,
this was
guys!
always the only way this journey could have ended. Watch Battlestar Galactica. Your life won't be complete until you do.
Okay. They didn't sell me on it though. Like, I don't think
What are
I'd
some
be...
of your favorite non-Star Trek sci-fi shows?
Miller.
Any ones that we should check out? You've got to let us know in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to get more content just like this from Giant Freaking Robot.
Yeah, it's a good list with a lot of stuff that a lot of things that I've seen, and there's 2 things that I haven't seen, but I did hear about them, except the anime. But like I said, I've watched anime on and off for past, I don't know, 30 years, and I recently got really deep into it. So, although I can't say that I'm watching a lot of stuff that would be science fiction, in regards of the fact that I'm watching it on my own, and I often feel bad when I'm not watch something and I think that Eric might find it interesting too, and he would like to watch it, so I'll leave stuff for to watch it with him. What we're watching Switchblade right now. We're just trying to finish it. It's not that great, and we've decided to Dun. It's absolutely brilliant. We finished that, waiting for new episodes starting next week, and actually this week, I think. We are very, very sad that it's not coming to the cinema with the first episode in our town. So yeah. And in regards of that list, I think it's very good. I do remember that I did enjoy Battlestar Galactica when I watched it first time, and then obviously watched it again with Eric, and I didn't really finish. I don't think I ever finished the whole show, so maybe someday I'm gonna try it again. We see. And Babylon 5, I heard mentioned in a lot of things, but I never really watched it. I don't think I even seen 1 episode of it, so yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I see you tomorrow. Bye!